can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want? Robin Williams said this in the movie Good Will Hunting. I know a movie about a mathematical genius may seem like it has nothing to do with Avid, but I beg to differ. Avid lives by this quote, embedding within us that we have immense opportunities if we are only willing to take them. Avid will make you take these opportunities, making them out of a grade of 100%. Pushing students to try new opportunities may seem a bit forceful, but I believe this gentle nudge in the right direction is what helped me become increasingly successful in high school. Entering high school, I was a 4.0 student, but during my sophomore year, I began to see a shift in my mental state, leading to the drop in my GPA. During this time, I had dealt with depression and hospitalization, so when my counselor, Ms. Geis, recommended me to take Avid, I thought it would become a waste of my energy and efforts. I felt as though Avid would become another class that would burden me like a weight. Even with my hesitance, I decided to follow her advice because one more class couldn't hurt. To my surprise, I found that Avid would help me in raising my grades at a time that had become one of my greatest academic and personal challenges. In my junior year of high school, I know, a bit late in the Avid realm, I entered my first Avid class. The same year I entered Avid, I also began my journey towards becoming an IB diploma candidate. My Avid class was not just Avid, but also Theory of Knowledge. These two classes jumbled together in perfect harmony, creating a class that not only taught me about college readiness, but also allowed me to take on new perspectives, to venture into newfound ways of knowing and thinking. Being a first-generation student and not having taken Avid prior to my junior year, my mind was a completely blank canvas when it came to anything about college. All I knew about college before was that 1, it's a lot of money, and 2, that I might want to go. I never knew the path or steps it would take to get me there. I was completely lost, looking in the dark towards a future that seemed to be dwindling, but Avid for me shined through like a beacon of light. Taking the path towards the IB diploma was initially the only thing that I thought would get me into college. And when I joined Avid, I learned that that was partially true, but that there was so much more for me to know. I had to learn about FAFSA, A through G requirements, studying tutorials, best fits, and all this other information that seemed a bit overwhelming at first. I mean, I came from a home that thought colleges just asked you to come on over, with no idea about the application process or any of the essays or requirements. So Avid for me became a big faucet, spilling to me everything I ever needed. I became like a sponge to all the information I learned in my Avid class. I mean, it seemed like I had to. It seems like I had to learn quickly in order to make up for the years I'd missed. But in the end, I don't necessarily feel like I missed anything. I just had to play a game of catch up. And I don't believe I only caught up, but I found my place in my Avid class. Avid showed me how to get to college through hard work, determination, and hey, don't forget to turn it on Google Classroom. The best parts of Avid for me were the discussions and investigations that I was able to participate in, the ones that helped me guide me towards the future I wanted for myself. Avid allowed me to realize that there is not always a guarantee that you'll find yourself in life right away, or that there is one correct path to take. But it also allowed me to explore who I wanted to be and why I wanted to become that person. Avid posed a bit of an existential crisis, but it also provided the resources and solutions for us students to find out who we are through investigations like Best Fits, where I could seek colleges that would cater to the person I'm striving to become. The greatest thing that Avid taught me was how I perceived myself in the classroom, what ways of knowing made me believe I could or could not achieve something. This new perspective impacted the way I addressed the limits around me. I used to believe that my limits were definite, that they were a wall I could not get around. But through Avid, I learned that limits are only the restrictions we choose to confine ourselves with. I now know that our limits can manifest into doubts that can negatively shape the path we travel down and tempt us into abandoning all hopes towards passion and wants. But thanks to Avid, I will not fall into temptation. I will push beyond my limits to prove that they are not what defines me. I initially entered AVID with the expectations of dropping out of the diploma program and abandoning the class. But here I am, having graduated high school with a 4.0 GPA, taking the path towards the IB diploma, and most importantly, planning my attendance to UC Santa Cruz in the fall, all because I chose to take one more class. Thank you.